Plugins are generally installed to add popular or useful features that are not shipped with WordPress out of the box. One such example is contact forms, which we just added using the Grunion contact form plugin. Another is sharing buttons for social media. Adding sharing buttons for social media to your posts and pages can be extremely valuable because more and more people are using social media to share their content. So adding these buttons at the top or bottom or both of your posts and pages will allow people to share your content directly with their friends or their networks, and this will produce more visits to your site. Just like with contact forms, there are hundreds of different plugins that add sharing buttons. The one I personally like the most is called Add This, so that's what I'm going to install. To install the plugin, I go again to Plugins and Add New. And here I'm going to search for Add This, all one word. And the plugin I'm looking for is this first one called Share Buttons by Add This. I'll click Install Now. The plugin is downloaded and installed. And I'm simply going to click Activate Plugin right away. Once the plugin is activated, it adds a new feature to my menu on the left-hand side, just like Grunion Contact Forms did. But you can't see it because it's underneath the Settings option right here at the bottom. So to get to the settings, I go to Settings and Add This Share. And here, I can set up the sharing buttons for my site. This plugin has lots of advanced functionality, and it's a lot of fun to experiment with to see what it does to different types of content. The cool thing about Add This is that Add This is actually a separate service. You can go visit it online and you can sign up for an account, and then they'll run statistics on the people who share content on your site. All you have to do is set up an account with them, it's free, and Add This will track all the social sharing on your site and tell you how many people shared content and what content they shared. Looking at the actual setup of the plugin, you see on the left-hand side, there's all the different options. And on the right-hand side, you have a preview that gives you a rough estimate of what the plugin will do to your regular posts. Of course, to see what the plugin does to your posts, you have to actually go to one of your posts. So I'm going to open the site in a separate tab and go visit one of my posts. Here it is. And now I'm going to go and activate the plugin. So here I'm going to make sure that the top sharing tool is set to these small buttons, and the bottom sharing tool is set to these standard buttons that come from the different networks. I'll go and save changes and reload my post. And now you see that these sharing buttons were added both to the top and when I scroll down to the bottom. Now I can go back and configure the buttons if I want to. If I didn't like this button row and I want the other one instead, I can set it to the top. If I don't want to display sharing buttons on the bottom, I can turn it off. Or I can choose a custom button from the custom API that Add This provides. So I'm going to turn off the sharing for the bottom, leave the standard sharing buttons at the top, and go down and click Save Changes again. Now when I reload the page, you'll see there are no sharing buttons on the bottom, and when I scroll up, you'll see the sharing buttons at the top. Add This provides lots of advanced features too. If you go to the Advanced tab, you can choose whether or not you want to show the Add This buttons on the home page, on all pages, on the archive pages and category pages, and also on excerpts. If you're using analytics, you can also choose to add something called Add This Track to your clickbacks, address bar shares, and copied text. What happens is Add This will actually add this crazy line of code at the end of your URLs so that when people share those particular URLs, you can track them as they jump through the internet and you can see how many people reshared your content. I personally don't like these options, but they are available to you. There's lots of more things you can do with the Add This Share plugin, and it serves as a very good example of how plugins work. You install them into your site to add some functionality. Then you start experimenting with it to see what it does, and you find a situation that either works for you or doesn't work for you. So here's my advice to you. If you're looking for a feature and you can't find it inside WordPress, chances are someone has made a plugin to solve your problem. So go to the plugin directory and search for a plugin that does roughly what you want. Once you find it, install it on your site and experiment with the settings until you find either the solution you're looking for or you realize the plugin is not doing what you want, in which case uninstall the plugin and find another one and try that one instead. This is all about experimentation, and there are no hard and fast solutions to anything because there's always new solutions coming out and there's always new problems coming out. So this is all about trying new things and seeing what works for you and your site.